let's get started here. And Anne Marie, can you tell us a bit about you and your Innovaderm story?
Well, I started at Innovaderm in 2009, so almost 15 years ago, as a director of business development. At the time, Innovaderm was well known as a research site, and we were about 30 employees at the time. So we were well known by the large pharmas in North America and the biotech to be conducting quality studies in dermatology. At that time, we were also managing our own investigator-initiated trial, which we called IITs.
Amazing. And what would you say are you most proud of during those different roles you've had at Innovaderm?
It was a fun place to start. It was a small, growing, dynamic company. Many of the company leaders, including myself, had to wear many, many hats. So it was a great opportunity to do different things and to really see progress very rapidly because it was a small structure. So decisions were made very quickly.
And how do you view the growth that has occurred with Innovaderm during those different stages?
Well, the growth and what we should better call the transition from being a clinical site to a full service CRO in dermatology was very successful because it was done in a stepwise approach. So as I said, we started as a research site specialized in dermatology. We were doing investigator-initiated trials. And then we started to do sponsored trials, early phase 1. We moved to phase 2 trials with a few sites, multi-center trials. And then, we got awarded some phase 3 programs, very large ones that were conducted in North America, but also in Europe. So this growth was stepwise, and we were able to set up all the company structure to be able to meet our client needs.
Amazing. Can you tell us about maybe 3 defining moments which propelled that growth?
See, 2009, that's where I started. We were a clinical site. 2012, this is really the first time that we've launched our CRO activities and started to manage sponsored trials. As I said, early phase 1 and phase 2 with a few sites in Canada and in the US. Shortly after that, 2018, this is when we started to expand in Europe, do some studies in Europe. The need was to conduct trials in other areas than North America to help the recruitment of those patients for the studies we were managing. And lastly, I think the biggest milestone was in 2020 when we were awarded several phase 3 programs. And it was a good thing that we had done a bit of expansion in Europe beforehand because these programs are very large and we need to be managing them not only in North America in some indication, but also in Europe.
Great. And what would be 3 words or phrases that would embody these stages?
Obviously, for CRO, quality is extremely important. So that's why we have to control our growth. We have to control our systems, our quality systems. We need to deliver quality service and data to our sponsors. Perseverance, because when you're starting from small and growing very rapidly, you have to really be dedicated and persevere in what the goals you want to reach. And for me, very important, you have to have fun. And I've been having fun for the last 15 years.
It sure sounds like it. So I was told that you now have a new position based in Europe. Can you tell us a bit more about this and your new role?
My business expansion team, we're dedicating our activities on the development of relationship with key opinion leaders in Europe and investigators. We feel that to offer better service to our clients, to have that close relationship with investigators and building a partnership with them will make us more successful in delivering the results that we're supposed to deliver and deliver them on time.
Absolutely. And could you elaborate on the expansion as to why it is occurring?
As I said earlier, we started to work in Europe in 2018. And we were mostly working with partners, so CRO partners that were established in Europe. And because of the growing needs of managing these studies in Europe, we felt that our clients would be better served if we were managing the studies ourselves. There would be consistency in the services and the processes and the tools. So this is really why we've elected in 2022 to manage those projects in Europe directly, and therefore the need to have a team that will be dedicated to the expansion.
Absolutely. And what customer needs are going to be addressed in correlation with the expansion?
There's increased interest from North American sponsors to expand the recruitment of their trials in Europe. It's not always possible to recruit subjects only in North America in the short time frame that the client would hope to. So being able to conduct studies in Poland or in Germany, in France, in Spain, it really helps to recruit faster, recruit on time. And there's very good sites in Europe that can really offer quality data. So for us, I think it makes a lot of sense.
Yes. How is Innovaderm uniquely positioned to accomplish this expansion?
So we've been active in Europe since 2018. The size and the number of projects that we're now involved in really justifies this expansion effort in the region. There's also somewhat of a gap in the marketplace in Europe. There's very few dedicated CROs in dermatology. So we offer this unique service really in expertise. So there's some small CROs that do offer dermatology expertise, but the size that we are now, there's very few. Most of the larger CROs are more generic and offer services in different indications. So our specialty in dermatology, I think, really brings added value to our clients.
Absolutely. So what are the possibilities for the future?
Well, we want to continue to build on our relationship with biotechs and also convince the large pharmaceutical sponsors that they would be better served if they work with a CRO experience in dermatology and that has, good relationship with sites. So this is really our goal in the future, next coming years.
Amazing. In the next, let's say, 6 months, what do you see coming for Innovaderm? What are you aiming to accomplish?
Well, I think that the initiative that we're doing right now and having a dedicated team working on the relationship with sites in Europe will really help us to position Innovaderm as a key player in Europe. So we're well known in North America as a dermatology specialty CRO. But in Europe, even the Europeans see us as a North American CRO. So I hope that our activities, and our presence in the market in Europe will improve this awareness of the services that we can offer, not only to our North American sponsors, but also to our European sponsors.
So how does this differentiate Innovaderm from other CROs?
Well, our development activities in Europe are really centered around clinical sites. So they will be a key to the successful management of our trials in Europe. By knowing those sites very well, we know who to choose for which studies and which indication. And we also, at the same time, building a relationship with key opinion leaders in the different therapeutic areas we're working in. So that will give us good market insight to conduct these trials in the most efficient manner.
So lastly, how does this meet the future evolution of the market and the needs for sponsors?
Optimized site selection, quality of the data, and on-time recruitment. When the CRO can accomplish all this, usually the sponsors are very happy.
Sounds great. So this is all for us. Thank you so much for taking the time to discuss with us today, and best of luck in your new role.
Thank you. Thank you very much. It's been a pleasure speaking with you today.